Well, hello everybody again. This is DonnaBTexas, and I'm not feeling at my very best. I see that God has decided to play with my hair a little bit today, and I'm just gonna just let it go the way which direction it wants to go. So I'm not gonna fight with it. Having an off day. But I did want to, and I guess having looked at myself in the mirror, I was thinking of plastic surgery. And not for me that I could do it. I wouldn't do it, but I was thinking, the whatever they call these lines that come down the face, and that happened slowly over time. I had lost about 80, going on close to 85 pounds in 18 months. And all of that nice, chubby chipmunk cheeks that I had way up here just started sliding down the face. And that's just, oh well, I'd rather have the weight loss and whatever happened over the course of my life. That's just the price I'm paying for it. I wouldn't mind getting rid of the waddle down here, but you know, that's just the way it is. But I never really thought of really plastic surgery seriously. I don't have any body part that's perfect in any way, but the thought of surgically changing it, I never had a need to. Now I'm not criticizing anyone who has, because I have a really wonderful person in my family that is very much adored, and she has a beautiful face. That God endowed her with a very large Sicilian nose, and you grow up in a Sicilian family, you don't think anything about it. At the time, though, she was also wearing horn trim glasses, and that was the style, though, back then. And so she eventually got into a position where I guess it was her heart's desire to have her nose changed a little bit. And then I don't know why she didn't need to wear glasses. I don't know. Maybe they had contacts back then. I'm not sure about that. But she went from being a cute, lovely person to just being gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's what she needed to do. She wanted to do it, and she did it. And it made her feel good. And, everyone loved her the same. It didn't change how everyone felt about her, because they loved her dearly before. They loved her and continued to love her dearly afterwards. So that was nothing to us, but we were happy for her. Let's put it that way. We were definitely happy for her. So I want to thank y'all for being here, and I want to thank this platform for giving us this opportunity to visit. And if you would be so kind as to like, subscribe, share, that would help me out. I'd appreciate that. And let me get my reading specs on here. Yeah, I like the color teal, teal and purple, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, I like that color. It reminds me of the beach. Not the purple, okay, but the teal color, that aqua marine color that you see in the water sometimes. So, Princess Henry, yes, we're talking to you, Princess Henry. I want to talk to you. Can we be honest about plastic surgery? So, obviously, I'm not an expert on it. And as I said, I don't want to criticize anyone who's had it. Obviously there's going to be different reasons. Self-image, like a person that I knew personally, it was a self-image thing. There's going to be health reasons to have it, that it's going to be like repairing something that is in a unhealthy way, that it really is an obstacle to one's quality of life, definitely that. But Hollywood, people who work in Hollywood, near Hollywood, or just wish they did, are very much influenced by just this almost a lemming reaction to running towards those plastic surgeons, or I should say cosmetic surgeons, probably plastic surgeon, as plastic surgery isn't really the word to use anymore. But Princess Henry, may I call you Megan, how does this pertain to you? Well, you know, the internet has a forever mind. And let me just remind everyone on this one picture that the internet has. Hang on a second. Okay, now that picture is kind of, I guess it's a before and after picture. And I don't know if it bothers you that people see that and in their opinion, they're saying that you definitely had something done that changed the look of your face. And I'm not going to say it was ears, nose, cheeks, chin, lips. You know, I'm not going to say that, but I can see for myself there's obviously a difference. Now, that little girl in that picture to me is so cute. I mean, just adorably cute. And I think she would have been definitely a beautiful woman, but we won't know that now, will we? Because the person I see in the next picture definitely is a beautiful woman, but she does not have the same God-given face in the other picture. So why would a person do that? And anyone can see with your influences in your childhood that it was probably just a normal thing, that you didn't even think twice about it. And I don't know how old you were when you might have taken it upon yourself to alter what you felt was not going to enhance your goals. But I did a little checking, and as much information as the internet is supposed to have, it's kind of hard to nail certain things down. And there was just some really kind of vague references to some countries that would allow people, girls as young as 16, I guess boys a couple years older, to have cosmetic surgery done, particularly on the nose, you know, if that's what one was looking for. And why would I bring that up about children? I think that you were cared for, definitely as a child. You were definitely cared for and cared about. But I'm worried about other children that might be influenced by what you do, and particularly your children. I would really, really worry that your children, in their eagerness to please you, could be so easily influenced that they have to do everything you do. And that even subconsciously, because you changed your nose, would they feel like, oh, their nose is not exactly like mom's nose. Maybe they need to have their nose changed too. Maybe they need to have their hair dyed. Maybe they need something else changed. Even, oh, God forbid, the color of their eyes. So I guess I'm kind of begging you, Megan. I am begging you. I know that most of us would find it inconceivable to go so far as to reconstruct a developing minor, what we would consider a child, but you know, there are some countries that marry in their early teens, unfortunately. You might see that, in your opinion, as old enough to make a decision, and you would have the influence, the money, and the ability to fly your children anywhere in the world. I'm assuming that you have the authority to do that, and have them undergo cosmetic surgery. And I'm very, very concerned about that. It just because it's something that you can do, I don't think it's something that you should do. And I would hope that you're not subconsciously or even subliminally giving them messages that they're not enough the way they are, that there's something missing about them. And I want to know about those before and after pictures of yours. I mean, how much do they really bother you? Do they bother you so much that you would secret away your children so that there's just no way in the world anyone will ever have a before picture? so that no one will ever be able to see the after picture. I don't see any reason why someone would be that secretive to have a nefarious plan like that so that no one can see your children's faces, so that there won't be an accusation against you that, look at what she did to her kids. You know, that would certainly get you off the hook. But I would hope that you're not that kind of mother. You know, there are the old stories about the old Hollywood stage mothers. Like they were really just nightmares. But from what you have probably seen, I think that if you wanted to be a nightmare, I think you could pull it off. And I'm not saying that as a criticism. I just think that you have seen a lot, you've learned a lot, and you have maybe some aggressive elements to your personality. You might understand aggression. You may know how to use aggression. And maybe some of these people that you've met in the course of your life have also taught you the art of evasion. I don't know. That's not necessarily the best skill to have. Not when you want to appear genuine, down to earth. Being elusive, evasive, and secretive, those are not the things that garner trust. It really isn't. And it would not be mature and grown up to expect people to fall for every single thing. It's kind of watching a child perform their first magic show. I've done it. I've watched it. Oh my goodness, when a child is clumsily trying some sleight of hand, and you know they obviously need some work to polish up their act. And I do mean this in a nice way, Megan. If this is what you're trying to do, dear, you need a little work to polish up your act. So here I am, trying really hard not to harp on you about the dangers of cosmetic surgery. I mean, any search on YouTube and there's an abundance of videos on cosmetic surgeries gone bad. So I'm not here for the the free slideshow, but I am concerned about any type of being pressured that people in your realm of influence, including your own children, might feel because they want to be as beautiful as you. I'm not going to say were. Maybe we all age, and as we age, we slip a little bit in the looks department, and some of us never had far to fall in the first place. Oh well, that is my cross to bear in life. So, anyways, there have been people in your life that you might be able to remember that tried so hard to please you. It could have started with your parents, your mom and your dad, your friends, boyfriends, significant others, husbands, even servants, people that you've met along the way that may have just really tried to please you. And maybe at this point in time, and you can't really say that any of them ever quite got the knack of getting it right. And I'm concerned your children are going to end up on that list. I really am, because children need to be who they are and not worried so much about being recreated in your image of what you have for them. And maybe keep that in mind for their sake. And that is something that I just really wanted to get across to you. And one of the things that I remember is that, and I looked it up just to make sure it was Joan Rivers. May she rest in peace. Oh, I loved her comedy. But one of the things she said was attributed to her. I wish I had a twin so that I could know what I'd look like without surgery. And she was so honest. And people simply loved Joan Rivers. And it wasn't because she had any cosmetic surgery. They liked her because of who she was and as a person and how she expressed herself. And cosmetic surgery doesn't make you more likable. It really doesn't. It may make you look more visually pleasing. But if people can't get past your words, or your words are just a facade, some kind of verbal plaster that you're trying to get to represent who you are. You know, your body language in what you do, how you do it, where you do it, speaks volume. Every time you reached for that microphone, every time you reach for something that was not intended for you, you know, that's just kind of shows a person with these I know an old woman that once said it like big eyes. Like your eyes are on everything, and like if you've seen it with your eyes, you want to hold it in your hand. And she said like grabby, like a grabby personality, and this like a person that was grabbing at everything. And there was one person in particular that she didn't like, and it was because of this personality trait that she just had to have everything and everybody that she laid her eyes on, and that equated to getting her hands on it, physically getting her hands on it. And I think you have earned yourself the reputation for that, even if you saw yourself more as a maestro, helping to conduct a situation so that it went in a way that was more pleasing to you, and for some reason, either time-wise or visual-wise or whatever it was, you know, the little control freak that rests in some of us, me included. My husband would say to me, just try to learn to let go, one finger at a time. Loosen that grip a little, Megan. One finger at a time. But you've earned that reputation. And I can see the videos. I can see why those things are said about you. And I can't disagree that that's not how it looks, because that's how it looks. It doesn't matter what your reasons were, dear. Remember, you may have the reason, but did you have the excuse? Maybe not. Maybe not. Unless you feel like every little thing that pops into your head is like from your lips to God's ear. I don't know. Are you? I mean, or is it, you know, I would hope the other way around, but I don't know if I've seen much of God's work as a result of your endeavors. So there has been this big discrepancy between what you have said and how you look and act, and what you claim that you want with your words. And your children are going to see that. They are going to see that and maybe even joke, you know, between themselves, like, oh, here she goes again. And I guess you don't care if you're the what do you say it, the butt of someone else's jokes. Maybe that you don't care. But your children are definitely going to remember you as you get older. That's going to be their more lasting impression of you. They're not going to remember you when you were a kid. They didn't know you then. They're not going to remember you when you were first married to Prince Henry. They weren't born yet. They're going to remember you as being, when they become closer to being adulthood, how you look then is going to be their primary memory of you. And hopefully by then, you would not have had such undue influence on them that you pressured them into changing forever something that was perfectly lovely and adorable just the way it was. And I have no doubt your children are beautiful. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what their noses are like. Please let them know that they are enough, that they're just perfectly wonderful the way they are. And that is what would be kind of blooming where you are planted. And I know that I like to say that, but I really do mean that. I mean that for me, and I mean that for everyone else that might be listening. So I can't add much more to this without repeating myself. And I want to thank you all for visiting here with me today. And as I said earlier, I hope that you bloom wherever God has planted you. Don't try to send me anything. God is taking care of me, and I will pray that He takes care of you likewise. And that if you will like, subscribe, and share, that is one way that will definitely help me out if you do want to do that. And I have an episode coming up where I'm going to ask Mr. B. Texan to tell us one of his stories. I'm not sure when I'll do that. Maybe by the end of this week. He has one story. Actually, he has two that I think are, would be consistent with one of the subjects I want to cover with you, Princess Henry. And I hope you'll all keep your eye out for my upcoming episodes. And until next time, take care. Bye now.